let's Patrick, I'll throw to you here. What are you looking for this week at the Open Championship?
Someone who knows their way around a links golf course. That's, I think, is going to be key, right? Looking at all the stats and past winners, you want to have good finishes in an Open Championship, good finishes in the Dunhill or the desert sort of series around the Middle East where there's some windy, exposed courses. In terms of stats, everything, obviously there's 14 par fours at St Andrews, more than your standard course. So I've looked at par four scoring, and in particular, par four scoring on 350 to 400 yard par fours. That's 7 of the 14. So obviously some very gettable par fours there. So if you can go low, that's going to go a long way. Driving distance seems to be a big key. Tiger led the field in driving distance in 2005. Louis was fourth in 2010, so that helps. Putting average, obviously the big greens are going to come into play as well. So those are my, and then you need to be in some good form as well. It seems like some top 10s in your last 5 starts definitely helps a lot. So be looking at that too.
Yeah, nice. Luke, anything to add to Patrick's set there?
Yeah, it's hard when you come into this tournament because obviously I agree with, in the desert and windy courses and that sort of thing. It's when you want to have a guy who's so good at putting, you want to have a guy who has a good week putting. But when you look at the stats, obviously all the courses they play are in America and they're not these rock hard links sort of style courses. So there is an element of being a good putter, but there also is an element of just having a good week with the putter. And it's just a matter of finding who that guy is. Proximity to the hole is a big one for me because if you can continue to hit it close, you should be able to knock a few in. And just greens, just percentage of greens. This is a course where you need to be patient. If you can just keep hitting greens, the chances continue to come. So, yeah, straight off the tee, straight into the green, and be able to putt well.
Basically, just describe the cat in his prime. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys are saying. The only one I would add, Masters form shapes up as a good correlation here. Not something you would probably think about when you think of St Andrews.
Cam Smith.
Sorry?
Cam Smith.
Yeah. Tiger Woods.
And I do think there is just that like sort of St Andrews element, right? You need guys who aren't going to get overwhelmed by the course because there are going to be bounces that don't go your way. You're going to end up in a bunker that you forgot about or you didn't see, and that sort of stuff.
There's an aspect to like all the Open every year is obviously it's played on a links golf course. It's always a different links golf course, but links golf is very similar wherever you play. So I think, as you both said, the links specialists will come to the top here. I think I saw on Twitter. I don't know if it's Twitter or if it was on another podcast or something, but someone said they were in St Andrews or getting an Uber to St Andrews, and the Uber driver was that pumped. He was saying when he normally plays, he hits it about 240 yards, but it's that baked out at the moment. His drive is going about 310 yards. So these guys, professionals, are going to have to really dial it back, hit these little squirty, punchy shots in that, we don't normally see. So, even if the wind doesn't get up, I imagine there's still going to be a fair amount of excitement around the place.
Tiger drove 18 the other day, didn't he? Made eagle.
Oh, stop. Cool. Well, that leads us into our selections. Really? We'll start with our guest. Luke, give us your best bet and a reason why.
It's Jordan Spieth for me. As I say, he's not a guy I always go to, but he's trending. He's played some good golf. All those boxes, all those things you look for when you're reading out those, 9 of 9 in the top 40, top 25 strokes gains. I was just ticking boxes as you were going. He fits all of those. Loves St Andrews. He's top 20 in his last 4 Opens. I think 4 top 10s and 8 starts at the Open. Never missed a cut there. Tied for 4th in 2015. He's had a win this season. A runner-up. Yeah, I would be shocked if Spieth isn't in the top sort of 10 this week.
Have a top 10 at Scottish last week too.
Yeah.
Which is
When he didn't really seem to have his best stuff either. There was a lot
No.
of that seemed like a real tune-up week, which he
just after I gave him smack about his putting, he was positive strokes gained putting. Sorry, give me a second.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like when Spieth was, I guess, in his prime at his best, everything inside 10 feet, you knew he was going to hold. Even those big 20 to 40 footers most of the time looked like they were going to roll in. And for him, if he can be, I think 3/4 at his best of where he was, I think he'll contend this week.
Well, yeah. So he was 46 strokes gained putting last week, which was his worst statistical set for the week, and he still finished top T10. So that is a little bit alarming.
and like Luke said, in terms of being a good putter versus capable of having a good week with putter, he's certainly a guy who can get red hot with a flat stick. So.
Yeah. Nice. Jordan Spieth, what's he at? $16 at the moment, third favourite. Patrick.
Well, you know who my best bet is.
DJ.
Yeah, unfortunately, someone who's departed the PGA Tour shores, but back in the field this week. We talked about links form, and I think experience is a key here as well. 9 of the last 14 winners of this tournament have been 35 or older. You look at the top of the market, a lot of these guys all fit into that sort of young gun category where they maybe haven't got the same sort of link experience. JT and Cam were two guys who profile awesomely, like statistics-wise and everything like that, but I just can't make them my best bet with their lack of Open Championship form on the board. So, whereas DJ was T8 last time the Open came to St Andrews, and he's got 3 other top 10s in the Open. He's 7th for birdies or better on par 4s, and first in scoring on par 4s, 350 to 400, which we talked about. I think he's a guy who can get red hot and just put the ball right by the hole. I don't think St Andrews is not going to overwhelm him. He's going to keep a calm head and just sort of do what he needs to do. Augusta form, obviously, he led after round 2 in 2015, had a shocking weekend, but he is capable of getting high. And if the wind doesn't blow and he can the scores are pretty low, he's certainly capable of going low. So I think at $31, sort of probably one of the biggest price of this top tier. He's definitely worth a bet there.
And coming in on the back of a red hot team win.
I don't know what
from Portland.
The strokes gained. What stupid name has his team got there? But yeah,
the Fireballs. It's the only one I can remember.
I don't know.
Tough. Nice. DJ. I think of the live golfers, he's the most likely, and he's the one that typical DJ doesn't really give a toss what anyone thinks, and the media's pretty much steered clear of him in terms of.
Well, because he hasn't been himself in circles trying to justify doing what he's doing. Whereas the other guys are,
I'm very torn here. My sheet here looks like a copy and paste job from the US Open. And I'm going to go top of the market. Rory Mcilroy at $11. Don't do that, Luke. Don't shake your head at me like that. He is the best golfer in the field over the last 6 months when it comes to strokes gained data. Trending in the right direction. 3rd strokes gained tee to green, 3rd off the tee, 17th in approach, and 9th around the greens. 23rd in putting. He's 5th on tour in driving distance, 31st in putting average, 10th in par 4 scoring. Form line dating back to the Masters, very nice. 2nd, 5th, 8th, T18, 1st, T5, T19. He didn't play last week, which is of those sort of 10 trends, is I think the only one he misses.
I think he's pretty familiar with links golf, though.
I think so too. As you said, in 2010, he was T3 here. Didn't play in 2015 because he hurt his leg playing indoor football or something.
Yeah, get him away from a soccer ball this week.
Yeah. I'm if you're happy to miss Rory's win, I'm all in on Rory's win. Like, I want to be there when it happens.
I'll be there. I'll still be happy about it. I just
$11 is short, but I mean, I like winning money, so I'm happy to take. I'll probably take him if he's $5, to be honest. So Rory McIlroy, I do really like Matty Fitzpatrick as well in this section of below $30 odds, particularly after that US Open win. So, and he had a great week last week. First round back, or first tournament back after the US Open for T6. So my best bet, Rory McIlroy, $11. Luke, your mid-tier ranges from $30 to $100.
Yeah, no one really stood out. I thought about Max Homa for a while, who's been playing okay, but I went with Louis. You know, when we talk about St Andrews, I guess you can't look past him. Maybe this is my live golf thing that I've been thinking about, but obviously he won it in 2010 and lost in a playoff to Zach Johnson in 2015. He absolutely loves it. He's flying under the radar, which he loves in terms of, you know, his presence. Really just comes in and plays golf and takes money now. But yeah, I think he'll go okay. I don't know if he's going to win, but at $41, I'm certainly going to have a little look.
Patrick?
Gone on another veteran. Louis is in my staking plan, but not my official mid-tier pick. Justin Rose at $61.
Oh,
You got to be on the odds here. T6 at St Andrews in 2015 in the Open. He's got a T4 at the Canadian Open with obviously the big last round, and T13 at the PGA amongst his last 5 starts. Scores well in par 4s, 12th for birdies or better. 11th putting average, 18th strokes gained putting onto this season. Just, I think, you know, he's another guy who's going to be very capable of being there or thereabouts, playing some good golf and knows his way around a links course. So at $61, it's a very nice price for a former major winner.
I'm torn again here. I've got Max written down here. I've also got Foxy. And then I've got one other that sits into the mid-tier category, and I was really hoping I'll just double check before I say his name out loud. No, he's $4 shy.
A couple of that $80, $90 range I was hoping might get a bump.
And I'm going to go with him.
As we speak, Louis now into $36.
Ooh.
This podcast is not recorded live, or is not going out anywhere live, so someone's obviously my mid-tier, I will go with Adam Scott at $96. I think I'm just looking up at the TV here, even channeling Adam Scott with his beige top on today. I think this is a good sign. I was very high on Scotty at the start of the season when he made his sort of comeback in the desert, and back-to-back top 10s areas, playing some pretty good golf. He was T14 last time out at the US Open. We know he's sort of one of those guys who picks and chooses where he plays now, and he's not going to set himself up for failure. He on tour he ranks 38th strokes gained putting, 34th putting average, 33rd strokes gained approach, 17th in driving distance, and 49th in par 4 scoring. He was T27 here in 2010, T10 in 2015. Obviously won the Masters. Can feature at $96. We'll be having a wee look at Adam Scott. Luke, you're roughie, $101 or $100 or more.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on this guy. His name's Jordan Smith.
Hit a hole-in-one last week.
He did. He leads the European or the DP World Tour in greens hit percentage. He's 20th in distance and 20th in accuracy. He's having a great year. I think 6 top 12s, a couple of runner-up finishes. Last week he really impressed me, which was the, I guess, nail on the head, or the final nail in the coffin for me to have some money on him. 3 straight rounds in the 60s at the Scottish Open before a 74 in the last round. I think he finished tied for 24th in the end. But this is a guy he's been trending really, really well this year. Can hit it a long way and hits it straight, and obviously hits greens. He's leading the second best tour in the world for greens hit percentage, and he's at $111. So pretty keen on that.
Nice. Let's look at his stats last week, were pretty good. 20th tee to green, 14th off the tee, 29th in approach, and the mid-40s for putting and around the green. So not bad. Patrick?
Yeah, I not as keen on my roughie. There was a few guys I looked at, and none of them I could really fall in love with. But I'm going with another guy at 111. It's real sort of just course specialist vibe here. Danny Willett won the Alfred Dunhill last year on obviously 2 of the 4 rounds are on this course. He's won a major. We all know about that. previous winner.
Masters form.
Yeah.
Is there any
winner.
water for Jordan to hit it into this year?
There is what's at the North Sea, just a few yards away. But he's won the Dubai Desert Classic and the DP World Tour Championship as well. I was T6 at the Open in 2016 as well at St Andrews. So he's got, I think he's missed 4 of his last 5 cuts. So not playing great golf, but if he can turn it on anywhere, I think St Andrews is the place. You know, he's got that major championship pedigree. He's maybe won't get overawed by like a few of these other guys could. So yeah, I'll have a throw at the stumps.
Nice. Not my option, but I think you should have a look at Corey Connors at $101. Statistically, he's ranked as the 18th best golfer in the field over the last 6 months. So he profiles pretty well here. But I'm going to go real rough. Well, a lot more rough.
Ian Campbell.
Not that rough. wind it back a little bit. Chris Kirk at $276. What are we against the field in the last 6 months? He is the 19th ranked 19th strokes gained tee to green, 22nd off the tee, 51st approach and first around the greens. Form's been a little bit up and down, but he was T5 at the Arnold Palmer, T5 at the PGA, and T7 at the Canadian. He played last week, finished second last. That's an issue. First 2 rounds he was good, and then the second 2 rounds he was bad. But at $276, definitely worth a look. The top 40s, top 30s, if nothing else. So Chris Kirk, $276. All right, before we move on to spending some cash and placing some bets, is there anyone else you guys want to shout out, give to the punters to just sort of go and have a wee nosy at?
Well, I mentioned there was a couple of guys in that sort of high double figures range. I was hoping I could have snuck into my roughies, but Mark Leishman's the big one that jumps out. Obviously, there's the course form there.
Yep.
Augusta follows over. He's got a game for St Andrews, so he's in my staking plan. We'll get to him soon, but that was probably he was the last man out of my mid tiers before Rosie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of JT either at 21s, or I think 22 he's at. He's certainly in some form, and if he can roll the rock well, he'll be there or thereabouts as well.
So I like JT if there's no wind.
Yeah, JT is in my staking plan as well. Like you're talking.
Yeah, but who isn't in your staking plan at the moment?
It's a good question. Corey Connor's not, but yeah.
Alton Lee.
No, there's a few here, but yeah, talk about a guy who can stuff it right next to some pins, and I think he's on record as saying he loves St Andrews. So I think even though he doesn't have the runs under his belt there, he's going to be very familiar with the course. Cam Smith is another one. They were the other 2 that I wanted to make a best bet. Cam doesn't have the Open Championship pedigree, but just everything about his game suggests
Australians profile well in links courses.
I mean, he could just have, think back to the players. He might have 21 putts in one round or something like that.
Yeah.
And
he's got a Kiwi caddy, so we can root for him.
And a sick haircut. I know you listen to No Laying Up podcast. Luke, do you listen to No Laying Up?
Not all the time, every now and then, yeah.
They were there was an ode to St Andrews, about a 45-minute episode around St Andrews and different people talking about it and the old course there, and just talking about Justin Thomas earlier. He was saying the first time he went to St Andrews, it was a practice tournament before. I think it was his first professional start was at the Alfred Dunhill Links, and he was practicing, and he teed up in the first hole. He went driver into the wind and then hit a 6-iron and stuffed it for eagle. And he thought, wow, this is pretty easy. So good memories for JT. Right, let's get to the staking plan. We've got $200 each to spend this week. And Luke, we will throw to you first. How are you betting your $200 this week?
I'm going to go from bottom to the top. $10 on Jordan Smith, who I've spoken about before, at $111. $10 on Louis, because he can win. He has won there. $20 on Jordan Smith, top 10 at 10s. So I'm pretty doubling up on Jordan Smith here. And this was an option I found really, really interesting, and one I think is a good bet if Cam Smith doesn't have the week people think he is Ryan Fox to be the best rest of the world player, meaning eliminating Americans and Europeans. $20 on him to be the best rest of the world player, which is paying $14, which I think is really good value for someone who plays, week in, week out at these golf courses. 20 on JT, 30 on DJ, and then 30 on Spieth to be the top American golfer, paying $10, and then $60 on Jordan Spieth to win the tournament.
Holy, all in Jordan Spieth. I like that. It's some real flair. Now, Patrick, just a forewarning, punters. Get a pen and paper.
Yeah, might have to cut this out and be like
Maybe
a bonus little episode or something.
Get the hand next to the pause button just in case, because Patrick's got about 400 bets to get through here. So, Patrick, over to you.
I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. I'm backing 6 guys to win, 10 each on JT, Cam Smith, and DJ, 5 on Justin Rose, 3 on Mark Leishman, and $1 on Danny Willett. 7 top 5 bets each to win just over $100. JT, Cam Smith, Tony Finau at $8.50, DJ $9, Louis at 10s, Rose at 12s, and Mark Leishman at 23. Then I will have $8 each on Mark Leishman, Danny Willett, and Wyndham Clark top 10. Sung Jae top 10, $10 at 60. What have I got here? $16 at 6.50. $5 on Justin Rose, top European at $23. 3 first-round leader bets, Rory, DJ, and Tony Finau, $7, $5, and $3 respectively. Power play I found here as well. Any 2 of Spieth, JT, and Cam Smith, top 5 at $12, and then $9 on that. And then I've got 3 of the Karl Tiley favourites, sort of top 5, top 10, top 20 multis to finish things off. So I'll have $2 on Cam Smith, top 5, Justin Rose, top 10, Leash, top 20 at 245 to 1. I'll have $3 on DJ top 5, Tony Finau top 10, Cam Smith top 20 at 101.25, and $4 on JT top 5, DJ top 10, and the great Ryan Fox top 30 at $81 to finish things off.
Holy.
Really like DJ first round leader. Really like that bet.
Just looking at our spreadsheet here of all our winnings, and just looking how far behind me you are, and obviously we've got to take into consideration the Tom factor.
Yeah,
I know he's listening, and he loves the shout out each week, and he even gave you praise. I was texting him the other day, Patrick, so something along the lines of you're much better than he ever was, which rings true. But for the listeners who care, Patrick's about $1,800 behind me in terms of profits on the cut line. I should say Patrick and Tom.
Cam and JT both finished top 5. I'll just about make that up.
I'm saying
So,
that's what I'm getting to in a roundabout way, is this might be the week where you gobble us up and overtake us. Because, yeah, from what I remember, I like what you just said. There's a lot there. All righty, my turn. I haven't got as many bets, but I do have a few. I will keep it simple too. So I've got 3 winner plays. 20 on Rory at 11s, 10 on Fitzy at 19s, and 10 on Larry at 21s. Same 3 guys, top 5s. 20 on all of them. Rory at 375, Fitzpatrick at 450, and Larry at 550. 3 top 10 plays. Will Zalatoris, Max Homa, and Ryan Fox. $10 on each at 420, 550, and 650. Top 40 plays. $10 on each. Corey Connors at 250, Adam Scott 270, Chris Kirk at $4. Love this. One of my little little multis here. The Cat top 40 and Louis top 30. $20 on at 568. And a couple of power plays to finish. $10 on both. Any 2 of Matt Fitzpatrick, Will Zalatoris, or Tommy Fleetwood, top 5 at $12. And $10 on any 3 of Xander, Lowry, JT, and Rory, top 10 at $650. That is my $200.
Not a single dollar on the Cat by himself.
I've got that. I've had that since the Masters of my own account. So Look, I don't need to justify my stance on the cat. The people know. The people know. Look, that's probably us. We've got Patrick. We've got a promotion on the golf this week.
Is that the enhanced golf bonus back?
It is.
Place a pre-tournament outright winner bet through your TAB account on the Open Championship, and if your player doesn't win but finishes top 20, refund up to $50 as a bonus bet.
There you go. Between us, you've got about 2/3 of the field there to choose from. Yeah. Anything to add, lads?
Go the cat.
Go the cat.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. It doesn't get much bigger than the Open at St Andrews. It's also the 150th edition, so it's all written in the stars for the big cat to claw his way up the leaderboard and hobble down 18 and win on Sunday.
5:30 p.m. On Thursday, our time. I think it kicks off. Tough scenes for my kids. There'll be no cartoons this week. It's going to be all golf all night. Luke, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time this afternoon, mate. And we will no doubt have to get you back to talk some more golf.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And hopefully one of the magnitude of tips or bets I'll put down can come through for the listeners.
Exactly. Patrick, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to come on and talk some golf, Karl. Thanks for having me.
To Paul, if you're out there, if you're listening, I hope you haven't had too many 3-putts today, mate. And hopefully we'll see you back next week. And to all of you punters, thank you for joining us again on the cut line. Go well. Good luck on the punt. And we will see you next time. Cheers. Sweet. Mouse.
Oh, you're on my mic.
Oh, sorry. Cheers, there, bro. That was awesome.
No dramas. Thank you very much.
When do you head off?
I go to Christchurch on